What nuts, turkeys, and Canadians? It is Wednesday, November 27th in the United States and Canada. That'll be U.S. Thanksgiving Eve in the United States and Canada. And this is a show called What Chaos, presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code WhatChaos. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks, run your game. Hi, everybody. My name is DJ Bean. Pete Blackburn. You wore that dress yesterday. No, you changed your hat.
I also was wearing my jazz jacket yesterday.
Oh, did you put the jacket on over it?
Yeah.
Nice. You're wearing the same t-shirt I wore yesterday.
You've ruined the illusion.
What's that?
Said you've ruined the illusion.
Yeah, what an asshole.
It's very clear we are recording. It will not be more clear over the next however many minutes. This is being recorded before Wednesday, November 27th, in the United States and Canada. I'm wearing the same shoes as yesterday. You didn't even comment on that.
I'm not a shoe watcher.
I wear the same shoes every day.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Are you serious? Sean, you know that, right?
I don't know if I knew that you wore them every day. I know you wear those shoes quite often.
You wear those shoes a lot, but not every day.
I know you've referred to those as your podcast shoes.
Yeah,
but I guess I didn't know.
It's what I used to do on the TV, too. I would have a pair of white sneakers that I would keep at the studio. They would never leave. And when I got there, I would put on the white sneakers. And I just always look like I have a clean white sneaker situation.
Yeah, I mean, I know you've definitely worn other shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do know that you wear those, I would say, more often.
I also do know that you own podcast shoes because you famously left them at my house one time in my office, and I was very upset about it.
I used to send shoes to Pete. One time, Pete complained that I left podcast shoes at his house, so I started ordering more podcast shoes to his house.
It's just...
Yes, respect.
It's not respect. You don't go to somebody's house and just leave your shoes behind.
I mean, it's kind of a power move.
Space.
It's kind of a power move. I agree. It's disrespectful, but also it's a power move.
Extremely disrespectful.
Also, I'm Sean DePaz.
Oh.
Ooh.
Did I not say?
No, you didn't, because we got distracted by you.
Oh,
calling
I said
out
you
Pete.
wore that dress yesterday.
Yeah.
I've been hammering a lot of.
I'm also wearing the exact same stuff. I didn't change anything. Same hoodie. Same
we don't want you to change a thing about. We want you to be yourself. If that means Bart Simpsoning it and wearing the same thing every day, then by all means, life is a cartoon. That's what Shakespeare said. Pete, it's an oops all grab ass edition of the show today. But why don't you tell the folks what they got ahead of them?
We have the Thanksgiving break episode, which is what you're currently listening to.
Nice.
And on that episode, you will hear and see who he played for. Everybody's favorite game invented by What Chaos.
Yes.
Weirdest things this season, which there has been a lot of weird things this season. I think we're going to draft some of the weirdest things that have happened this season through what are we at, like a month and a half?
We are roughly a quarter of the way through the
quarter
season.
pole.
A little over.
So we're going to draft
Quarter pole, I think, is actually when there's a quarter
left.
remaining. Yeah.
Okay.
But everybody's like sport. That's like one of those things, one of the many things that sports writers get wrong. That and politics.
But they know every fucking Bruce Springsteen song.
Am I right?
And then finally, we have a big slate grade because, as you know, on Wednesday, the day that you're listening to this on, not a lot of games last night. There were only 2 games last night. Were they good? Were they bad? We don't know. We're recording this on Tuesday.
Only 2 of them. They stunk.
Ignore that. But we got a bunch of games tonight on Thanksgiving Eve. If you're a young person, you're probably going to get blackout drunk and not remember any of the games with all your high school friends. But if you're old, like us, a lot of games to take in tonight, so big slate grade.
I'll tell you what, as Thanksgiving traditions go, I've said this, I think last week on the show, not into the whole back home, gonna get after it thing. Just relax, live your life. You want to see people, see people.
But you also live where you've always lived. Like, there is no going home for you. Like, it's not like going back to, like, I have to go home and see people that I never see. You all live here.
Oh, no. Yeah. But I think that, did you mean like when you're on break from college and stuff like that? Even then, I didn't go back and see people.
Well, I mean, like, you when you do the night before Thanksgiving, it's typically a lot of like high school people that you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, I
that
guess
you're
you
not
tend
friends
to be
with.
going out in like your hometown more than like people here. I feel like they would normally go out in Boston, but on Thanksgiving Eve, you're going out kind of like more.
Yeah,
hometown
you're like
type of thing.
embracing being a townie.
That's
basically.
fair. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
being a townie.
But
what about
yeah, I mean, like as somebody who lives near where they grew up, like I hang out with like a lot of my high school friends regularly. So
yeah.
I don't need to do that. I don't need to see all the extra people that I don't want to see on Thanksgiving.
I just don't have high school friends. Really.
The other Thanksgiving thing that I'm kind of out on is, I mean, it's definitely a sports talk cliche to be like, what's your favorite? What's your favorite item?
I was going to
favorite
ask if we were
foods?
going to do that.
What I'm sick of is I feel that everybody feels the need to point out that the good cranberry is in the can. No one has ever thought differently than that. I don't know a single person who wants like a jellied cranberry.
I do think differently than that because I think there is no good cranberry.
Oh, that's so. Oh,
I know,
man.
I know.
Have we talked about my particular love for cranberry sauce before?
No,
It is like my thing. Like,
gross.
I could text my family right now and ask them what my favorite Thanksgiving thing is. They'll all say cranberry sauce. They always get an extra can just for me. I'll eat cranberry sauce, and I'm talking the jellied stuff, Ocean Spray from the can. Doesn't necessarily have to be Ocean Spray, but I have no interest in the whole berries. I'll eat it year round.
So my dad famously year round, year round cranberry guy. Like we would have like egg noodles, chicken, like a vegetable, and there would just be cranberry on the table.
I eat it alone. I have been known, particularly if I am high, to just pop open a can of cranberry sauce, grab a spoon, and eat the whole thing out the can.
My thing with similar to that is I'm a stovetop stuffing guy.
Oh yeah,
I love stovetop.
Same.
And I'm 100 years old. In my 100 years, I have yet to have stuffing that I preferred to stovetop.
Stovetop is great.
So every year, no matter where I am celebrating Thanksgiving, it is known, do at least, this sounds crazy, but like you're doing at least one box of stovetop to set aside just for DJ. I could mow down that whole thing.
Respect.
And that's another thing that sometimes out of season, I haven't done it in years because I've grown up just a tad. I will just have stovetop by itself.
That's
a snack.
Don't do
I think that's
that.
fine. That's less weird than just like
I think
cranberry
so.
What you're getting
sauce.
is fruits and vegetables.
True. I oftentimes will make like a pork chop thing, like a baked pork chop thing that I put box stuffing on top of. So I have box stuffing relatively frequently throughout the year, but it's not like by itself like that, I guess.
You ordered cranberry juice on the plane.
I did.
On the way back from
I'm a huge
Utah.
cranberry guy. Cranberry juice, craisins. I almost can't eat craisins because I had such like a craisins like moment in high school that I ate them. Like I got like one of the big like pound bags and was just chewing those things down, and I almost can't eat them.
I gotta say, you're probably, I don't think I know people who feel strongly one way or another about craisins. I think you're the first craisins guy I've ever met.
I love craisins because they were like one of the only like side options at my high school that I liked, so I just always got them. And yeah, they're a thing for me. I just always love cranberries.
Side note, you mentioned that you don't have many high school friends.
Yes.
I think that's a very cool notch on your belt that you like don't have a lot of high school friends and you don't seem like mad or bitter about it.
I don't care.
That's a very cool
I mean,
thing.
I'm friends with like 3 people from, and by friends with, I mean, like, if I get a text message from one of the 3 of them, I'm not shocked.
Yeah,
how does this person have my number?
I've got one of those, maybe 2. I just like, I don't have much in common with a bunch of respectfully white boys that went to a private Catholic high school that have never left Western New York, despite the fact that I am also a half white boy that went to a private high school from Western New York.
So I was going to say, if I run into somebody that I went from high school with, or if I get like a social media follow, I'm usually like, I'm happy, and I see like, oh, what are they up to? That's great, but I'm not like, I don't lament my lack of. If I have like 4 people in my life, I'm overwhelmed by that. I don't need to have 400.
I made my real friends in college. Like, I also think that was like I found myself a little bit in college, so then I found the people that I can really relate to.
Hell yeah, brother.
Pete and I didn't find each other until I was my late 20s. You were mid 20s, right?
Yeah.
That would rock.
That's when life really began.
I would love to find a best friend. I don't want to say you guys are late in life, but like later than people normally find their best friends.
No, we got started a little late, but I also have like, have like best friends who, like, if I made a best friend in, like, one of my best friends is, and I say like one, like, I have multiple people who I'm like, oh yeah, that's my best friend. Pete's my best friend, whatever. One of them I made when I was in kindergarten, and that rocks. Pete, I made in my mid-20s. That rocks.
It's just different friendships.
One I have in college, like, but all these people,
Right.
if they were like, who's that guy? I'd be like, that's my best friend. But then if you walked in, I'd be like, oh, my best friend's here. Sean, you're my best friends.
That's why we need to bring back MySpace. Rank your friends.
Dude,
Rank them.
That would be so much fun. I love
hard ranking of your friends.
I was in like the Facebook era. Like, I don't know if this would hit for you, but like there was definitely a thing where it was like rate, like a rating. So like this message for a rating, and then you would give that person a rating on their timeline, and then also like ranking like your top 5 boys and top 5 girls type of thing. It was kind of MySpacey on Facebook.
You definitely missed this, but like the AOL Instant Messenger days where you could have like a profile, and a lot of the people would like put like their click in their profile.
Initials was a big thing.
Yeah, like I wanted a girlfriend in like middle school and high school so bad, just so I could put her initials in my AAM profile.
I feel that.
Even as a young man, I was like, if I have a girlfriend, no one's ever finding out about them.
Yeah, I needed to put the initials in and the date, which we started dating, which was like
respect
10 days ago.
Yeah, and
that was my dream.
What
was my dream
was there was a couple. I believe they got class couple in high school. They had some sort of what?
Yeah, dude,
that's just such a weird premise.
Like the idea of
class couple in high school,
underage couples.
It's just like
no. This was the best couple. I mean,
sure. Are they married?
No, they're
of course
humans.
Of course not. That's my point.
Other children?
Please, like there's like couples that are just like assholes, and then there's like these were two nice.
No, I get that. Like I totally get
that.
But
seem to have like a high school version of actual love. Like these were children that inspired the other children.
It just feels weird for like in a formal setting to be like these two teenagers.
Best couple.
But what they had was in their profiles, they had some sort of initials going on. They both had the same thing. No one knew what it stood for except for them. And like every day at school we were trying to figure out what it was.
We were like,
is it
I kind of agree. Best couple.
Yeah, like, but see, that's like they
have a cryptic code.
They were built different. Yeah. They were speaking their own language.
Did either of you get any superlatives in high school?
Oh yeah.
Most likely not to like ride roller coasters or something.
Okay, I was most likely to appear on Sports Center, which I was shocked I got because I figured it would go to an athlete, but I went to the sports broadcaster.
I was class cutie. And I was class clown, and I was not happy about the latter. And a lot of people were not. For some reason, kids in my class wanted to get class clown. I did not want class clown.
I would say that's a positive thing to have generally.
I thought my class was calling me a fucking clown.
I bet DJ was like, you don't get to call me a clown. You don't understand my humor.
Yeah, it's like I'm fucking smarter than you guys.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you get it.
Yeah,
that's 100% checks out.
I know people to this day that are like, was it rigged? How did you end up getting class clown? And it's probably, I knew sports kids. I knew chorus kids. I knew nerds. I knew like, I don't think I was beloved by anybody, but at least all of those groups crossed paths with me at some point. So that's how a lot of those things end up getting tallied up. Like most musical, I remember one of my friends who's a football player, he was like, I'm voting you for most musical. And I was like, that's because I'm the only person you know who plays an instrument. I'm not even close to the most musical. Here's a list of 25 names you should be doing instead.
See, my high school was interesting because
you're the exact same person as you were in high school, it seems.
No, I've just always been smart. Sorry.
Sorry about it. I went to a very small high school, and like their whole thing was like being Renaissance men. So they like were actively encouraged. Like everyone did a little bit of everything. So like the lead in our musical was like our best receiver type of thing, and like I was in choir with him. So like it was like a lot of like people did a lot of different things. So there wasn't as much of that, but it yeah, it was fun. I was on the homecoming court in college at Syracuse, and that was entirely based on like who you knew. But I got a sash. I went on the field before a football game. It was fun.
Rock on, brother.
Love to see it. We are about a quarter of the way through the NHL season, 2021, 22-ish games. What has made this season weird? I've got a list. I've got at least 5-6 things. Pete, I know that no one loves hockey weirdness like you. So why don't you give us something that you would say makes this season weird?
Jim Montgomery being the first coach fired would probably be my number one draft pick in the weird things that have happened this season. That would have been unfathomable to tell us in our preseason previews.
By far the weirdest thing for me is that the Wild are interesting.
That would also be very high up there.
We prepared 0% for the Wild being interesting. Our Wild preview was an ad read. We just did our season previews.
Wow, that really aged very poorly.
We just did an ad read during the Wild preview.
I mean, I guess it didn't age poorly at all because we didn't allow ourselves to say that this team sucks and aren't
we
interesting.
were wrong. We just read our reads.
We didn't say anything.
You know what else I got being extremely weird? That Dylan Strome is amazing. 29 points in 21 games. I was all in on, I was buying stock in the Capitals being good. Mm-hmm. But if you had me show my work, I would have been absolutely fucked. I wouldn't have even said, I don't even know if I said Dylan Strome's name in our Capitals preview.
Probably not.
Didn't see that happening at all. No one should have seen it happening. It's outrageous.
So like he's been good, but he hasn't been like good in a little while. Like there's always been signs that he could be a good player. He's really reached another level. Another one that I would say is really weird is the Nashville Predators being one of the worst teams in the NHL.
Predators, horrible. That's on my list as well. Just stunning. We talked about it on Tuesday's episode, which famously was live. None of the guys that they signed are missed by their old teams.
Yeah.
Like Stamkos, Lightning are fine. Golden Knights are very fine. And the Hurricanes are amazing.
Yeah, off the Wild and the Hurricanes being two of my favorite teams in the NHL this season, outrageous because those are the two teams that I don't think I crap on the Hurricanes as much as I crap on the Wild just because like they've been a good team and they've been interesting, but the Hurricanes have rubbed me the wrong way for a few years, and now they're like probably my number one team to watch in the NHL.
Yeah, their fans can be, or their fans or their social media or anything that has annoyed people about the Hurricanes. Like, do whatever you want. You guys rock.
Yeah, exactly.
You like keep losing defensemen and are amazing. You have young, awesome players that are contributing in Jarvis and Natchez. It rules. And as we said on the how are they doing this conversation earlier, it's not like guys are doing anything that's out of the ordinary. Natchez is the one guy that has exploded, and that's great. And then the rest of it all actually seems pretty sustainable. I don't want them to get another goalie. We talked about that with Petey. Mm-hmm. Petey was saying, are they maybe one of the teams that are in on John Gibson? Mackenzie Blackwood? No. I want Pyotr Chekhov to be the face of whatever they're doing. They could be.
No, I can't have them waste another season to bad goaltending.
I
would be fun.
I would like them to get another goalie, but still play Kochetkov
until they get to the
job. Until they get to the playoffs, and then play the real guy. But if they're winning games while also being chaotic, then that's fun.
I'm not gonna turn down a sprinkle of Kochetkov, but like I don't want them to rely on him, and I don't want them to rely on Freddie Anderson because Freddie Anderson always gets hurt, and if Freddie Anderson gets hurt again, we'll all say, how did we not see this coming? How did they not reinforce? And then Kochetkov, he's a goalie with a knife. You can't trust him.
A knife. You know that meme?
Yes.
The video with the kid? A knife. What do you have?
The kid running around the pool, and they're like, what do you have? A knife.
Yeah. No.
He's a goalie with a knife.
I mentioned the players that the Predators signed are not missed by their former teams. High on my list, Golden Knights taking absolutely no hit. They lost Marchessault, they lost Stevenson, they lost Mantha. They had 31 points through 22 games last season. They have 30 points through 22 games this season. Basically the exact same thing. And the only difference is they're worse offensively. They were fourth in goals for per game last season, 3.86 goals for per game. They've dropped to 20th with 3.21 goals per game, and their power play has fallen off. Their goals for, their scoring in their power play has fallen off precipitously, but their defense and their goals against, their penalty kill, all way better. So shout out to Petey and everybody who said the full year of having Noah Hannafin would make up for whatever they were losing offensively. I thought this was finally going to be the year that the Golden Knights were going to be ass, and they are, like, again, results-wise, essentially exactly what they were last season.
Yeah, I don't think I can't imagine them being ass, but they can be uninteresting.
Yeah.
They just won't be ass.
They're still. I mean, they've had a handful of injuries themselves. No, like I know.
Oh, yeah.
Mark
The other night,
Stone is still out.
The A's that were being worn on their team. I saw Hannafin was wearing an A. I was like, huh, that's weird. And then Hurdle was wearing an A. I was like, do they, like, Pietrangelo was out. Who else was out? Yeah, Stone was out.
Mhm.
Bunch of guys
I mean,
out.
that's unsurprising.
Olafson's out still, I believe, right? But that's also not surprising.
Connor Bedard being on pace for 12 goals this season. Very surprising.
Woof.
I know that there's a sophomore slump, and I know that his numbers on a points per game basis isn't terrible because he's got a good amount of assists. But like Connor Bedard, the big tool that he's always had in his toolbox is the shot, and the fact that he isn't scoring this year, regardless of what else is going on around him, I'm a little shocked. He only has 3 goals right now.
Yeah, rank the 3 goal scorers this season. Is Hyman still at 3? I think he might be.
That one, though, is like Zach Hyman was never going to be who he was last year. I don't think anybody ever expected that. I
Still
don't
at
think
3
anybody
goals.
expected him to run back 50 goals. That's part of the reason why last season was so special.
You expected him to score 30 goals.
Yeah,
25,
right.
30.
Like, it's still the 3 goals is still surprising, but Bedard is more surprising.
Yeah, I think I'm a little more surprised by that too. I thought that he was kind of going to take over, and they did get him some help with the forwards they signed.
I'm not worried about him. I'll say that. Not worried about him. I've seen a lot of people throwing around the B word for Connor Bedard.
Outrageous.
Get the fuck out of here. No way. He's going to be fine.
My last
What is
one,
plus minus?
my last one before my bonus
Shut
one
up, Sean.
is the Kings being a playoff team without Drew Doughty. Like,
It's a flimsy case for playoffs. Like
he messes up his leg, and I thought they were Toastville. Just think of what their offseason was. Their roster got worse. They lost Arvidsson. They lost Pierre-Luc Dubois, although that was always going to be like a maybe addition by subtraction thing. Kings should be happy with where they are right now, man. Given that Drew Doughty has been out this whole time.
I still think
disagree.
there's plenty of time for them to be Toastville.
I think that right now, as of this recording, they're like kind of hanging on by a thread. They have not played well recently. I think they have 2 goals or fewer in 6 of their last 8 games. They are holding on to a playoff spot that I think will not be theirs for long if they keep this up. Like the Oilers are going to emerge at some point, and I would imagine that they would take the place that the Kings will very willingly give up with the way that they're playing right now.
Do you have any more weird ones? Because I have a bonus one that it isn't on pace with, isn't in the same category, I would say, as the rest of these.
I have a few more, but I'm going to save them for the Guess Who game that's coming in a little bit.
Okay, we can do that. Just the bonus one is the Columbus Blue Jackets being extremely out of pocket on social media this season.
That is that's a very good one.
Marred by tragedy, their social media presence has just been fuck all these teams. And they make fun of every team. They recently mocked a 7-year-old tweet from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Respect.
They beat the Lightning and they mocked a 7-year-old tweet. Great behavior.
Great behavior, because not only is that the most famous Lightning tweet, but it is the most famous Lightning tweet that came after they were swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets.
That is true. Yeah, there's history there.
And I just love the energy of the Blue Jackets sitting and waiting and biding their time for like 8 years and be like, when we're good again.
No, see, I don't think it's when they're good again, because they're not that good this season. They've been a fun team, but they have done this to every team they've beaten. They're dunking on the Penguins when they beat the Penguins.
And
You beat the Penguins.
True, and it really hasn't been that long since the Blue Jackets were like respectable. They that playoff series against Tampa was like what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, they went 6 games to I
6
think
years
7.
ago?
It
Time is
was
just a
2019. No, I think it was 5 years.
No,
Yeah.
because the Lightning won the Stanley Cup in the COVID year.
But 2019 would have been the year that they got eliminated. Because
It was 2019.
Columbus played the Bruins in
True, and they won the following
The
year. after they were
2018,
swept.
2019
Yeah.
season.
So it'd be
Post-playoffs.
however many year old tweet.
Mhm.
Old ass tweet. But yeah, like that's not specific to the Lightning. They're just dunking on everybody. And I love it. Love all things Blue Jackets this year. Shout out Sean Monahan, Marchenko, and the boys. Let's we'll discuss some of our favorite products right now, but then we'll get into some very fun games. And when I get into a game, it's because I purchased a ticket on Game Time. I walk right up, I take up my phone. They have a little thing. Depending on the venue, there will be security, and I just scan it and I get into the game. They say, "How'd you get that ticket?" I tell them I did it on Game Time, my favorite place to get tickets, because when I pulled up, I was talking to my dad today about getting tickets to events. I said, "Go on Game Time. Click the all-in pricing. Make sure you aren't going to get any surprises when you get to check out." It's such a relief that you can see what you're actually going to pay for these tickets. It makes the process so easy. And with flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more, you can get a nice little spice when you're doing your shopping. A little flash deal, a little extra off. Zone deals, you pick the section, Game Time will pick the seats for an average of 18% savings. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. They are different because they're Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHAOS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHAOS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
I used Game Time over the weekend. I didn't. I used tickets that I got on Game Time over the weekend.
I think that counts.
Okay.
I think that you used Game Time because maybe you hadn't gotten the tickets from Game Time into your account yet.
That's true. That is actually true. And the process of acquiring those tickets was a lot easier than some other apps that never work on the first try. You know who I'm talking about.
Strangest thing in the world. And when that happens, I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to have to log into a million things for which I've forgotten the password. Nope. Game Time, easy. We did it in Utah when we went to the Jazz game. We were like, oh, this is good. Oh, we don't have the tickets. It's in the app. No. Game Time.
Among like the commonly accepted, like this is bad, but it is what it is. Like some other ticketing apps and their hit rate on the first time trying to access your tickets, it's inexcusable. Game Time, we love you because of that. Also, I got tickets for Sturgill, like in seats on the mezzanine level at MGM Fenway.
Yeah.
Greatest decision of my life.
Really?
Because if I was on the floor, first of all, I heard that the floor crowd was exceptionally tall for a Boston male-dominated crowd. So that's weird. I guess just all the secret tall guys in Boston, like Sturgill Simpson. But also,
I'm like the third tallest guy in Boston. I can't imagine there were a bunch of tall guys at that concert.
That's what somebody said.
Wild.
It was also a 3.5 hour show, so I was just very glad to have seats. So
easy.
Shout out to me, shout out to Game Time, shout out to Bauer, because today's podcast also brought to you by Bauer Hockey. You know them, you love them, one of the best brands in hockey. Nothing beats the sound of fresh steel cutting through the ice, and you can hear that every time after getting a fresh buzz with the Pro Sharp Bauer Advantage Skate Sharpener. Perfect for all hockey players, families, or teams. This sharpener is fully automated and extremely easy to use, so you can get perfect edges anytime, anywhere, as long as you got power nearby. And with a built-in goalie skate mode, your tendy can stay sharp too. So to learn more about the Pro Sharp Bauer Advantage Skate Sharpener, or to see where you can find it in stores, you can head to bauer.com/ProSharp. You can also use free shipping with code FreeShipWC.
I'll be quite honest. We've dicked around a bit this episode, but all I've really wanted to do, I've loved every minute of the conversation. I've loved how we've broken down the NHL like nobody in the world can.
X's and O's, baby.
I've loved we did Pete's Hockey Corner, where Pete sits in a corner and just gives you everything you need to know about hockey. We did Sean's Hockey Minute, all the stuff. You've been listening to the episode. I've just wanted to do the games because other days we're buckled in, we're locked in, we're breaking it down. This, it being a banked episode, we should say canned episode. Banked episode is stolen from another show. We wanted to play games. So let's begin with Pete's classic. Name that player. Guess that player?
Guess that player.
What's that player?
It's guess that player.
Like guess
just
that
like
Pokemon.
Guess that Pokemon.
Who's that girl?
So, Sean, go ahead and hit us with the first one, please. This player is on pace for 37 goals and 90 points in an expanded role this season.
37 goals and
I will give you another hint if you so desire.
what I want is for the face to be filled in just like a teeny bit.
Well, you've talked about some teams not missing players that they let go. So this is a player that took on an expanded role and is killing it this season.
Is it Chandler Stevenson?
It is not.
Yeah, because I don't know what Chandler Stevenson's doing, quite frankly.
He's over in Seattle.
Yes, respectfully.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what team he's on.
This player is in an expanded role on a team that they were previously on last season.
Oh, okay. So this would be... Is this Anthony Cirelli?
This is Anthony Cirelli, baby. Anthony Cirelli killing it. He's like a semi Steven Stamkos replacement a little bit. Like he has slid up. Anthony Cirelli, I always believed to be like an unbelievable defensive player. Didn't know if he'd ever get there offensively. Crushing it this season. So shout out to him.
Love that.
Just wanted to give him a little bit of love.
Chandler Stevenson not having the best year. 22 games played, 1 goal, 12 assists for 13 points and a -5.
Not amazing.
Yeah, his contract situation's quite bad, but he is a good player for them.
I feel good about getting that in the second guess, by the way. You had to give me some hints, but let's do it in the next one.
All right. This player, 4 goals and 12 points while being a -11 in his first 22 games for his new team this season.
Oh, new team this season.
4 goals, 12 points, -11. We're not a big plus-minus, but I think that it is important here.
Is it Anthony Mantha?
That is not Anthony Mantha. That is...
Is it Vladimir Tarasenko?
It is not. That is...
Give it to me.
Jonathan Marchessault.
It's all just been the names that we've been saying. Damn, okay.
So this is... A lot of these are guys that we've been talking about or want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So...
Not so hot, the Nashville Predators. Give me another one.
Let's hit the next one. This player ranks top 2 in advanced metrics such as puck battles won per 60, controlled entries per 60, and rush chances per 60, according to Sport Logic. This is very nerdy. But
I'm just going off of what I think this silhouette is. Is it Sonny Milano?
It is not.
It would be crazy if it was Sonny Milano.
That is a very round silhouette.
Isn't that what Sonny Milano, like, if you were to guess that silhouette?
Yeah, Sonny Milano has the big hair, yeah.
Sonny Milano.
Got a little bit of like a fro, like curls, right?
Yeah. This player, I know this is like very, very nerdy, advanced metrics and all that, but it is relevant and noteworthy because this player is a rookie.
Would that be Macklin Celebrini?
That is Macklin Celebrini.
Oh, deceiving headshot. Deceiving silhouette.
Yeah. Full head of hair on that young boy. But that young boy is absolutely killing it. Shout out to Sport Logic and JT Justin Bourne, who tweeted that out the other day. Like Macklin Celebrini, if you watch him, has been unbelievable this season in how quickly he's adjusted to the NHL game and in like a lot of the small things that he does. So I really like appreciated that. And that is not amongst rookies on those advanced metrics with like puck battles won and controlled entries. That is among all players.
Granted, smaller sample size.
Correct. No, but this season.
I'm saying.
Oh, because he was hurt?
Yeah.
Fair.
Let's so like if he has like one unbelievable game in that, there's a higher chance it's gonna sway it because he's only played X amount of games. But give me more. Give me another one.
All right. This player led all eligible goalies with a .925 save percentage last season. And I will add onto that, he has better numbers this year.
I should know who led goalies with a .925 save percentage. Was it?
I will say it's slightly deceiving because like the eligible mark can be on the lower side. I think it's like 25 games or something like that.
Okay.
So
it was I don't want to say a name because I'm going to sound stupid, but I don't want to make a judgment about this player either. But I have a judgment in my mind about them.
Just say it.
I remember it being kind of an asshole player.
I think that you're probably on the wrong track because I think based off of what we've gleaned from this season, you really like this player.
Is it Logan Thompson?
It is not.
Okay. Ooh, I really like this player. Oh, no. It would not have been Dan Vladar because famously he's never had good numbers before. One
One of the best stories of this season, I would say.
Joey Decord?
No. Want me to hit you?
Yes.
This is Anthony Stolarz.
Oh,
Anthony Stolarz,
yes. Legend.
925 save percentage, led all eligible goaltenders last year. I did not know that. And then this season, he has a 927 save percentage.
Yeah.
His like hockey reference page is wild because over an 8-year career, he has a 916 save percentage in 120 games, but he has never played more than 28 games in a season.
I like the player, man. He's like he's in that Casey DeSmith kind of group for me, where like if he's a team's backup, I'm going to like that group's tandem.
Anthony Stolarz last year in Florida.
Yeah, 925 save percentage.
925 save percentage. Sean, how many more we got left? One more? All right, one more. Let's do it. This player is on pace for 47 goals and 137 points this season.
Is it still Alexander Ovechkin?
It is not Alexander Ovechkin.
I mean, that silhouette rocks. It is 47 goals.
This player right now is tied for the league lead in points.
Not
Right.
Kaprizov because he's missed time. Not Draisaitl.
It is not. So this player is on pace for 47 goals and 137 points. Both of those would be stunning based on previous career highs.
Who has been? I mean, when I was looking at league leaders, the one that shocked me was Dylan Strome. Is it Dylan Strome?
It is not.
Sean, should I know this?
Yes, I think so. I think you should. I think the league leader was a pretty big hint. And also, you're
A
going to
league
kick
leader in points of a guy that you would not expect to be there.
and I think you'll kick yourself once you see the
Yes.
actual picture.
Oh, that is not a picture of that player.
That is correct.
That is a picture of the Carolina Hurricanes fan with a Natchez jersey.
That is correct. That is what we call a little bit of misdirection on the Guess That
Great
Player.
job.
Thank you very much. And that thus concludes Guess That Player.
Wow, great job.
Thank you.
I kind of had to cheat on that last one.
Did you look it up?
I didn't look up who leads the league in points, but I was like, I went to one of my tabs that had a bunch of guys who were killing it, and I was like,
that's bad behavior.
No, I said I kind of cheated.
This is
I
bad
didn't
behavior.
completely cheat.
Bad behavior.
I copped to it.
Okay.
It's not cheating if you admit to it. That's what I don't know. Sean,
I feel like
I
that
believe you are next for the game.
Yes, I have who he play for.
Oh, famously another game invented by What Chaos.
Yes,
I
I
should
have
have been playing music under these games. God damn.
as I discussed, or as I explained to you off air. This one's a little harder than the who he played for goalie edition we did at the beginning of the year because we've been watching so much hockey that not a lot of guys strike me as like surprised they play for them or I forgot they played for them. But I have a list of 5 players and then 2 more who are notable players that are currently in the AHL.
Love this.
Okay, so is there a general theme of this grouping or no?
Hockey.
Not really.
Okay.
Kind of, but it was more on accident than
Okay.
anything
Okay.
else.
All right.
So
Happy
the first
accent.
player I have is Christian Fisher.
Christian
Christian
Fisher.
Fisher.
He Detroit Red Wings.
Detroit Red Wings.
Good
former
job,
Arizona
Pete. Thank
Coyote. Next one, I feel like you'll start kind of picking up the theme of these. Zemgus Girgensons.
Oh, Zemgus Girgensons is on. Shoot.
First season he's ever played for somebody other than the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, is this the one with Buffalo Sabres?
No, not anymore.
The Minnesota Wild?
I was gonna
Nope.
say, is he on the? I thought that he was on the Wild as
Yeah.
well. Is he Western Conference?
No. Stayed in the East.
Zemgus Girgensons. Could he play for
Florida
the
Panthers?
No.
Canadians?
Nope. I'm glad I got a good one.
Zemgus Girgensons.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Damn.
Let's see.
He's
I'm
on the
trying to-
Devils. Is he on the Islanders?
No. Oh. Yeah, he's played 20 games this year for this team, not on the Islanders. For a second, I looked at his goal mark and it said 0. And then I was like, oh, he hasn't played any. I thought it was the games, so I was like, oh, he hasn't actually played for this team. But no, he's played 20 games, no goals, 1
Lightning?
assist. Yes, he has for the
I
Tampa Bay Lightning.
remembered that when I watched the Lightning Flyers game, I was like, he was in that game.
He played last night and got a point for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Didn't
Let's
Let's
he?
give it up for
First point of the
Zengus
season?
Kirkensons.
What's that?
First point of the season?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was. He
Gross.
was +1.
Yeah, tough.
Horrible. Give us another.
Yanni Hakanpää.
Is he on the Leafs?
He is on the Leafs.
Great
Okay.
job. All right.
Hudson Fasching.
Islanders?
Yeah. You're
Whoa.
Islanders.
Pete, clean it up. Let the record show I cleaned up last time I played this game. So we're tied. Go.
Scott Wedgwood.
Scott Wedgwood. Shit.
That is Dallas Stars.
Nope.
What?
No, that's Casey DeSmith,
Yeah.
right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Wedgwood was on the
This guy I may have done him for the who he played for goalie edition. I honestly don't remember.
Is Scott Wedgwood in the
Nashville Predators?
Nashville Predators.
Oh, yes.
I did see the other day that he is currently the worst goalie in the league in terms of goals against expected.
Love that.
Yeah. Expected goals allowed.
Tough season.
Kind of guy we
yeah.
talk about.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. This one, he's not in the minors. I have a hard time knowing whether or not this player is whether you would know or not. So I'm just throwing him in there.
Okay.
Zach Bogosian.
Zach Bogosian is on the Minnesota Wild.
Yes. Yes. I was aware that one might be a
Armenian
little too
great.
obvious. Okay.
I know that one because I included him on lists of players who look like their team.
Oh,
If he
true,
looks
true,
wild.
true. That is a good point. Okay, these are the two players I have in minors. The first one is Vinny Hinostroza.
Vinny Hinostroza.
What organization is he?
Utah
currently?
Hockey Club.
No,
The Boston Bruins?
no.
So the Chicago Blackhawks? No,
No.
he was
San Jose Sharks.
No, I could tell you what team he plays for and currently what AHL team he plays for. I don't know if that'll give it away too
yeah,
much.
hit me.
The Milwaukee Admirals. Basically, do you know what?
Chicago Blackhawks.
No.
No, that's
No, that's the Rockford
Rockford.
Ice
Yeah.
Hogs. Oh, the Milwaukee Admirals.
I will say I was kind of surprised. I had to look up who their affiliate was because I was surprised by who it was.
Is that I feel like is it a Canadian team?
Nope.
Because one of the Canadian teams has like a weird, way far away American.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, Tampa's is very far. Tampa's is Syracuse. which I
Yeah,
always
and like
find
those
weird.
change.
Is
a lot
Milwaukee
sometimes.
the Predators?
It is.
Yeah,
He's in the Nashville
weird.
Predators. And this other one is a guy that has been mentioned periodically throughout the history of this show. Ethan Bear.
Ethan Bear.
Didn't
Wow.
know he was in the AHL, but he is in the AHL.
Didn't know he was anywhere. Love it for him.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint.
Mm.
You'll really love what team he plays for or what organization he's a part of.
Carolina Hurricanes.
No.
Columbus Blue Jackets.
No.
The Edmonton
That would
Oilers.
rock.
No.
Vancouver
No,
Canucks.
they wouldn't
Nope.
do him like that.
Utah Hockey Club.
Nope.
Buffalo Sabres.
No.
That would.
That would rock.
He needs to be on the Utah Hockey Club because they have the Bear mascot, they have
True,
the Bear
they
head
have the Bear
coach,
coach,
and
and
then
then
they
a
need
Bear
Ethan
player.
Bear.
That
The
would be cool.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
Would be cool.
Triples his best.
Probably could
Yes.
work his way into that lineup too.
True.
Boston Bruins.
Nope.
That would.
No,
be,
I wouldn't
If
know
there
that
was a
for
bear
sure.
on the Bruins,
Yeah.
like, we'd be saying they got to calm.
I
down.
will say, let me double check this. I want to say, I'll give you another. Yeah, he plays for the Hershey Bears.
Oh,
That's the Washington Capitals.
That is the Washington Capitals. He is a
Damn.
Washington Capital, kind of.
Man.
Bear plays for the Bears.
Hell yeah.
That's my last one.
That's a great one. I'm so excited because now it's my turn for my game, and my game is not guess that player. My game is not who he play for. Let's play guess that game. What do you think my game is?
We're like guessing board games or something.
No, it's like a game in the same sort of
Oh,
realm.
wait, are we? I thought you were saying your
I have
game
two games.
was
The first
guess
is-
that game, and you were
Yes.
going to try and get us to guess random games throughout the
That would be
season.
amazing.
That would
Just
be
like it was
psychotic.
5-1.
5-1, 7:30 start.
Oh, we should. If we do a live show, that should be like a game that we do. We'll like
Guess
call
that
up somebody, guess that game, and if they win, they win. It's like $1,000. But we would say, be like, it was 1-0. The
That would
answer,
be-
by the way, was the Bruins Flyers game that I went to. Horrible game. No, guess the game that I am going to have you play. That's the first game.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
Guess that mascot.
No, but same
You are a
realm.
big mascot guy.
I did consider going this route for who he played for. I did consider doing, and we could do this later, who he coached for with
Fellas.
assistant coaches.
I would be terrible at that game. I always forget coaches' names.
This was inspired by the Joel Ward.
yeah.
brief
We're talking about
conversation.
assistant coaches?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I would
Just
be
like-
so bad at that game.
Well, let's find out and play some who he coached for.
No
guys.
No way.
Mike Yo, Pete, got a question for you. Who he coached for?
That's so funny.
This sucks. I'm going to hate this game so much.
That worked perfectly. Where Pete was like, where you were like, we could do who he coached for, and I was gonna say, and let's do it, and then Pete said no. I'd be bad at that,
I'd be so bad at this. Mike.
especially if it's assistant coaches.
Yeah, man. Oh.
That's so good.
I have so many.
That's so unfair because like Claude Julien, who is extremely important to me, popped up on the feed last week and was like, "Did you know that he coached for the St. Louis Blues?"
No one knew that.
No.
Oh, Mike Yo.
I have like an assistant. Like I have a favorite assistant who I kind of wanted to become a coach of a team that I care about at some point. But
These
I don't
are
know
all
if he's-
notable people who are.
That's kind of what like I was gonna
coaches.
do like
This
notable
sucks. I hate
players
this.
that are currently assistants.
Oh, this is my nightmare. Fuck.
Atlantic Division.
Atlantic Division, Mike Yo. I'm allowed to at least pull up the.
Who are the teams in the Atlantic Division?
Yeah, because I
when
feel like if I see the logo, I might be able to be like, I could see that. I don't really. Let me say the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Mike Yo is an assistant coach for the Ottawa Senators.
Okay.
How about former Blackhawks head coach Jeremy Colleton? Remember Jeremy Colleton?
Sure do.
Boys, who he coached for?
You got to give me the divisions.
Yeah, I will give you a Metropolitan Division team.
The Philadelphia Flyers.
Former Blackhawks head coach Jeremy Colleton is currently an assistant coach for the New Jersey Devils. Do we go 0 for in this game?
This is very well.
it depends.
Could happen.
Unless you hit the one that I was thinking of.
I got one. How about former Islanders head coach Lane Lambert? Remember him?
Lane Lambert is a coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
He's an assistant coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy. You got one. Well,
PK God.
all right. How about former Islanders head coach Jack Cap? Remember Jack Capuano?
Oh my God.
Who he coached for?
Cuts his own hair with dull scissors.
Yeah, who he coached for is what I'm wondering.
Capuano. Give me the division.
Let's go Central Division. How about that?
Jack Capuano in the Central Division.
This is the
He's not
best.
the Utah Hockey Club, is he?
Nope. I thought about doing some like right under our nose ones, which there still may be.
I know one of the assistants for the Utah Hockey Club.
Give me the Dallas Stars.
Jack Cap is AC
Is it? It's not
for the
VGK.
Min Y.
Ah.
Minnesota Wild. He's an
yeah.
assistant coach.
For
That
some
one
reason, I thought
definitely-
I had seen his name on a piece of paper recently, so I thought it might have been a team that I had seen play recently, but I guess not.
I'm wondering about former Sabres head coach Phil Housley. I'm wondering who he coached for.
I know this for sure.
That is the Los Angeles Kings.
It sure isn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think.
I said it with
That's how
conviction.
that's how I passed tests when I was a kid.
I'm gonna kick myself when you say this.
Answer so strongly that they'd be like, he was really sure. Half credit.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
What division?
Ooh, let's put him in the. Let's put Phil Housley in the Metropolitan Division, shall we?
Let's say the New York Rangers.
Former Sabres head coach Phil Housley is an associate head coach for the New York Rangers.
Nice.
Good job.
Did not know that.
That counts.
Let's keep things Sean adjacent with former Coyotes and Oilers coach Dave Tippett. Remember him? Old Dave Tippett? Who he coached for?
That is the Los Angeles Kings.
No, this is a good one. This one's a good one.
What's the division?
It's the Central. It's a good one. This is a good one. I like this one.
The Colorado Avalanche.
No, it's a good one, though. No.
The Winnipeg Jets.
So, yeah, you're not going to get this one because
You lie about
definitely
the division.
not the most notable assistant coach in their own organization.
St. Louis Blues.
Seattle Kraken.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a tough.
No one cares about other
nobody gives a
coaches.
shit about you.
That is tough.
They care about the head coach and they care about the assistant coach, not the coaching consultant, which is what
It's not even a
which is what
real job.
Dave Tippett is. Probably, I've never met a consultant who seemed like they did a real job.
Although a consultant is a dream job.
Yeah.
It's just not a job.
Yeah,
All you do
right.
is bill.
It's a fake job in
You
which
just
you
bill people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to know about longtime Bruins assistant coach Doug Huda. Doug Huda?
Doug Huda.
Who he coach for?
Is that the Pacific Division?
It's the Pacific Division.
Is it the Vegas Golden Knights?
Longtime Bruins assistant coach Doug Huda is an assistant coach for the San Jose Sharks.
Okay.
And let's wrap it up on this one.
I guess the Golden Knights, because everybody from the Bruins just goes to the Vegas
Okay,
Golden
makes
Knights,
sense.
like
Yeah.
in a non-player capacity.
This is a good one. Let's do a former player. How about longtime Avalanche goalie Peter Budaj?
Wow.
Who he coached for?
Speaking of Avalanche goalies, by the way, I was going to say during the weird conversation, the fact that Patrick Waugh is still the head coach of the New York Islanders. Like, I saw him the other day, and I was like, oh, he still does that.
That's
Well-
had no
well,
juice.
At all.
I just think that everybody outside of the island forgets that the Islanders exist.
100%.
Yes, myself included.
And that's like, I don't mean that to be rude.
But it's just like, it is the product. It's like a little bit of the Clippers thing. It's just like you're the second team in your city. And also the island itself is literally an island. Like it is.
Yeah, but like I say it in the way that like I don't mean to be rude, because I feel like the Islanders have constantly faced this criticism for years and years and years, even when they were good and interesting. People were like, they didn't respect them because they thought they were boring. The Islanders now are actually very boring.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
What about Peter Budaj? Who he play for?
Who he coached
Coach
for.
for. He played for the Avalanche.
Good job. Yeah. Who he coached for?
Can we get a division?
No. This one, no. This one I will not give.
Peter Budaj is not a coach.
That would rock. That would
be such a you move.
It's the it'd be a very social network. It's the Statue of Three Lies. What are the 3 lies about Peter Budaj, the coach?
Or it would be the what's that show with the we made it up. Is it
yeah,
completely fiction.
Behind the Magic or something like that.
something like that. Longtime Avalanche goalie Peter Budaj is coaching where? He is coaching, and it's in the NHL. It's in the Pacific Division, in fact.
He's also an assistant for the Seattle Kraken.
I'm gonna say Los Angeles Kings because I've said them in every other time, and if it's the Kings and I don't guess them this time, I'm gonna feel like an idiot.
Well, you still might feel like an idiot because you're wrong. Longtime Avalanche goalie Peter Budaj is a goaltending coach for the Anaheim Ducks. And that concludes who he coached for.
Shout out Lucas.
All right, that
Who
was
he
my
coached
least
for?
favorite game out of the three,
My
but
That one had some spice on it.
I
though.
like it. My guy that I was referencing earlier is one Michael Pekka.
Oh,
Mike Pekka. Do you know who he coached for?
New York Rangers.
New York Rangers.
Yeah, I really wanted him to be the Buffalo
I
Sabres.
know
Do you know
that
why I know that?
because Chris Baio loves that he's helped the faceoff percentage.
Yes, Chris Baio said on our show
idea.
that he was standing near Michael Pekka and wanted to go over to him and commend him on improving the team's face-off percentage.
I would love him to be, whenever Lindy decides to move on at this point, because he's clearly not getting fired, Michael Pekka would be awesome to be the head
Lindy?
coach of the Buffalo
I'll tell you
Sabres.
You're
what,
a playoff team,
Michael
dude.
Pekka could be the head coach of the New York Rangers at some point soon.
True. Would hate that.
Stop doing Lindy is doing miracles.
No, I was saying that like from a personal, like, he's not getting fired anymore. He's our coach. He's sticking around for a while.
Love
that. I'm past the point of firing him. I would hate the New York Rangers being completely run basically by former Buffalo Sabres. That would hurt a lot, but it is what it is.
Chris Drury being a former Buffalo Sabre, though, is like, what a
Stolen
weird
valor.
career Chris Drury had. He should have
Yeah.
just been an Avalanche forever.
The Sabres upset me so much. I was watching people on Twitter lament the fall of the Happy Days Buffalo Sabres with like trading away Brian Campbell to the Sharks, Drury and Briere, and trading Ryan Miller to the Ducks, like how it all just fell apart.
Shout
It made
out
me very
Brian
sad.
Campbell, but if you ended up missing Brian Campbell that much,
They
no.
didn't. That was
Poverty
like part of the
franchise.
conversation. If someone was saying that was the start, and then they were like, "Well, they were still pretty good. Like they made the playoffs the 2 years after they traded Brian Campbell, and then Lindy got fired, and it all fell
Brian
apart."
Campbell was a defenseman who would play every game and have like 4 penalty minutes.
I loved him. I mean, he was just a
He
redhead,
never took penalties.
just a redhead that skated around for the Sabres.
I do love like a good redhead dominating in the NHL or being a very
Especially when he was wearing the goat heads,
Yeah.
like skating around in the goat heads with the red flow.
he's
It was
a very
awesome.
very aesthetically pleasing.
I don't know if you guys will get this, but Brian Campbell looks a lot like Danny Elfman, composer and frontman of band Oingo Boingo.
I respect Danny Elfman, but I do not know what he looks like.
Danny Elfman,
But now I do,
if you
because
looked
he
him
looks
up,
like Brian
you'd be
Campbell.
like, that's exactly the kind of crazy I expected to see. Let's get to the Slate Grade.
Before that,
because-
can I just drop one piece
I'm
of
sorry, Pete, you can't.
I
no.
can. I wanted to include Matt Rempe in the Guess That Player so bad, but I couldn't find like a single stat that was really interesting to me. And that is probably the most, that's one of the most depressing things about the Matt Rempe experience this season is that he's not even like interesting, and Rangers fans now like acknowledge that he's bad. Like that is, nobody wants
How could you
that.
do it?
I need the Rangers to believe in Matt Rempe.
Yes.
That's what part of like what makes the novelty fun for the rest of us.
But the Rangers never seems to believe in Matt Rempe. The
I
Rangers
know,
were
that's
sitting
not
him.
true.
The Rangers
Last
were
year
sitting
they-
him in the playoffs, and everyone was like, "Why isn't he in the lineup?" Because respectfully, he's Matt Rempe. I think it was
but
more
Rangers
the
fans were the ones that were saying like put him in the lineup. He changes the
so that's what I'm
dynamic of the
saying.
team.
Like, the fans loved him. I don't think the Rangers like thought he was anything special. I think they had a pretty good understanding. I think they thought he was a cash cow, but I don't think they thought that he was
Cash cow.
Yeah,
For jocks.
it's a cash grab. It's for jocks.
How about who he worked for, Brian Campbell?
Oh,
The NHL.
Is he the NHL in general?
I don't know. I think he works for the Shield.
He works for the Blackhawks, it seems.
okay.
And on his Twitter page, it makes me quite sad how heavy he claims the Blackhawks, because that is his profile picture and his header and everything he tweets about.
Oh.
Damn. What does
I
he tweet
do-
about the Black? Is he like Bedard?
Well, his last I guess he
That'd be
doesn't
so
tweet.
funny.
Hand up, he doesn't tweet at all. His last retweet was of a tweet from a John Scott tweet in 2020 on their podcast that they were on. So yeah, he doesn't tweet at all anymore. So maybe he doesn't work for the Blackhawks anymore.
Well, damn. Yeah, I tweeted this the other day, and I've kind of refined the thought. I will play NHL 25 if we do the 3-on-3 is the arcade mode 3-on-3?
Yep.
Yeah.
The big heads.
Yep.
I need it to be oops all rempies, and I need it to be just a bunch of clumsy, beautiful deer just kind of slowly skating into the boards and getting nothing done.
You can make your play of that, yeah.
I would play like it's. You have to switch onto the player to control them, because if you don't, they're just gonna like slowly curl towards the boards and just skate into the boards and do nothing. And every now and then, they'll just throw a ridiculous hit.
I will say I was thinking about you the other day because for the first time since it was released, the PlayStation is on sale on Amazon for Black Friday, and EA has Black Friday sales. So NHL and
Don't even worry. Don't even worry your pretty little soul about a copy of NHL.
You
Yeah,
get me a code?
I can get
Fair
you a
enough,
copy of
but
NHL.
you can get a PlayStation for as cheap. I mean, you can, I think, still get an Xbox for cheaper than a PlayStation, but it is the cheapest a PlayStation's ever been.
But which one should I want?
You should want the PlayStation.
PlayStation. I'm an Xbox guy.
I don't think it really matters.
Do you
But
play
yeah.
against him?
Yeah, like we'll play together.
And
We-
you're doing different systems?
Yeah.
How
Across,
long
yeah.
has that existed?
For quite a while.
A little,
Okay.
yeah, a handful of years.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it
we should
doesn't-
clip this video game talk, toss it on the YouTube.
Video games typically do well on YouTube, and it'll just be people ripping their hair out, listening to us and talk about like, ooh, they got crossplay.
PlayStation's on sale.
Will they? Yeah, just like the new feature that is going to save NHL 25, and it's something that has existed for probably since I was playing video games.
I
just
feel
No,
like
it
had
hasn't been around that long.
Oh, okay.
I will say you would. I think you would really get into EA SHL, which is basically like you just be a player.
Yeah,
And
you got
play
one
with all your
guy,
pals.
player. Yeah, that's what like Pete and I will play
Yeah.
when we play together.
We play on a squad.
Yeah, it just still
Sometimes
sounds like
we're a blue line together.
Yeah, that's right. We're a defensive pair.
I do. At the very least, let's do oops all rempies when during the 24-hour stream.
So you to be clear, you can't choose like a actual player. Like it's you would have to design your character to kind of be Matt Rempe-esque. You don't get to just choose
For
Matt
that's
Rempe.
for ESSL
for
though?
the big
World
heads.
Shell, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can't just make a team of.
No, because it's like part of the EASHL. So it's like your player
Yeah.
still. They just make your player big head.
So you couldn't do like an arcade mode of like, say, I'm the Bruins, so I'm going to be Marchand, Pasternak, and McAvoy.
Not at this time, no.
Yeah.
Even to be fair, that like the last version of this game when it was its own game, you couldn't really do that either. They had like a couple players from each team. That you
I'm
could
starting to
choose.
understand why Pete says everyone's always mad at that franchise. That seems like a very easy game to do.
Here's what you can do, though. You can get a bunch of buddies, and you can have each one of you name your player Matt Rempe.
Yes,
and then
all
design
be
him to basically be Matt Rempe.
That's what I'm saying. We can put ourselves in all Rangers gear and everything. Like we can be Matt Rempe's.
Okay, we're getting somewhere there. Let's do a slate grade because there's 15 games
Oh
on
my
Wednesday,
God.
November 27th, in the United States and Canada. Before we look at it, I mean, we can see all of them here. Can you name the teams that are not playing?
Well, we know one.
Oilers
of them.
definitely aren't
Yeah,
because they
there's-
just don't play games anymore.
I
Shout out
didn't-
schedule makers.
I brought this up before the show and I didn't actually look at what the other team was, so I'm not positive. Even though I made this
Oilers
entire
are not
graphic.
playing, and then so is Utah Hockey Club playing?
Oh, I think I sniped it right away. Did I? Yeah. Oh no, I thought it was the Senators. No, Utah Hockey Club is. Oh, they might not be.
I think it's got to be one of the 4 teams not playing tonight, or that is playing tonight.
Two
right?
teams, right?
Well,
This
yeah,
is
but one of
15
them's the
games.
Oilers, and they aren't
Yeah.
playing tonight. But I'm saying the other
Oh,
team
yeah,
has to
yeah.
be one of the 4 that's playing tonight.
Utah
Okay.
Hockey Club.
That's it.
Nice.
At
First
7
guess.
p.m., the Wild at the Sabres.
Huge game.
That's 2 playoff teams.
Zach
right there.
Bogosian Bowl.
Zach Bogosian Bowl. Blues at the Devils at 7 p.m. Eastern. Rangers at the Hurricanes at 7 p.m.
Blues Devils, Marty Brodeur.
Yep,
Mm.
Marty Brodeur Bowl. Rangers and Hurricanes is a
That's got to be a stall bowl.
It's got to be some sort of stall bowl.
Every game's a stall bowl.
This got to be like Mark Stahl had to play for the Hurricanes.
Well,
right?
good thing we have a nice little tool on Hockey Reference that we can use for these.
The Flames and the Red Wings at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We've already mentioned him once today, so why not make it an Anthony Mantha Bowl,
Mhm.
right? Capitals at Lightning, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's a Capitals at Lightning. There's got to be a few good ones there. Would that be a no?
Trying to think.
We'll come back to it. Maple Leafs at Panthers. That is famously a
Stolarz.
Vladimir Tarasenko. No, a what's it called bowl?
Stolarz Bowl.
No, why can't
Oliver Ekman Larson.
Oliver
Oh,
Ekman
yeah,
Larson Bowl. Bruins at Islanders. That is a.
That'd be a Brian Rolston bowl.
I was gonna say Brian Ralston was on the Islanders. I was gonna say Dwayne Ralston. I think Dwayne Ralston.
Brian
played
Rolston
for,
did not play for the Islanders.
It's a.
Oh yes, he did. He did.
Brian Ralston did?
Finished his career with the New York Islanders.
Wow. How about a Johnny Boychuk Bowl?
Oh, I'll accept that.
For the record, Eric Stahl played for the Rangers and the Hurricanes.
Okay.
Also a guy that's been mentioned recently, Pat Verbeek.
Oh, okay. The Canucks at the Penguins. That's a Danton Heinen Bowl.
Sure is.
I know a Danton Heinen Bowl when I see one.
That's right.
Canadians at Blue Jackets, famously a Jordan Harris Bowl,
Mhm.
Jordan Harris.
most notably.
This is the return of Line tomorrow night or tonight, I believe, right?
It could be. He is practicing, and in a full contact.
Hell
This is a. Why can't I think of his name? Who is the? Josh Anderson Bowl.
Okay. Yep.
Duh.
Yep.
Josh Anderson Bowl. Flyers at the Predators.
Oh, I got a good one here.
Yep.
Is the almost Shea Weber Bowl?
Oh yeah. Shout out offer sheets.
Yes.
And then the one that I have randomly selected as the one where we will do our research. The Stars at the Blackhawks. At what time is that? 9:30 p.m. Eastern in the United States and Canada?
8:30 p.m. Eastern.
This is
8:30.
The Patrick Sharp Bowl.
We are looking at a Patrick Sharp Bowl. We're looking at an Ed Belfour Bowl. We're looking
Johnny
at
Oduya Bowl.
a Johnny Oduya
Oh, that's
Bowl
a
is
good bowl.
great. A Marty Turco Bowl for Sean
baby.
DePaz.
Oh, yeah.
A Colin Blackwell Bowl. How about a Matthew Barnaby Bowl?
Oh,
No?
no, bad guy.
Yeah.
We could do a. Wait, really?
Max Domi?
I'm getting a Max Domi
Max
Bowl.
Domi Bowl. Yep.
Yeah, that is
Paid for both of them in the same year.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That was when Mark Wahlberg was very excited that the Dallas Stars acquired Max Domi.
60 games for the Blackhawks, 20 for the Stars that year.
What about a Matthias Janmark Bowl?
Wow.
This is now my favorite thing we do on the show, by the way. Especially when we have it looked up and we just really raffle them off. A Brennan Morrison Bowl.
Oh, a Corey Perry Bowl.
Corey Perry
Yes,
Bowl.
a Corey Perry Bowl, of course. A Brad Richards Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan Robida Bowl.
Oh, an Antti Niemi Bowl.
Yeah.
Great. That's a
Stanley
great
Cup champion, Antti Niemi.
I mean, I would say the goalies lead the way on this because you have Ed Belfour, you have Marty Turco, you have Antti Niemi, you also have Anton Hudobin.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Anton Hudobin played for both these teams.
He played one game for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, that's a good one. Golden Knights take on the Avalanche in Colorado at 10 p.m. Eastern. So you telling me, Sean, that we go from 8:30 to 10 p.m.?
I'll double check.
Kind of stupid structure, but, far be it from the NHL. For the NHL.
Yep, 8:30 straight to the 3:10 p.m.s we have.
10 p.m. Eastern is the Jets at the Kings. That's a good one.
Did forget to put on here that the Capitals at Lightning and the Golden Knights at Avalanche are the two nationally televised TNT games that night.
Ooh. The Peter Budaj and the Ducks will visit what? Peter Budaj and the Ducks will visit coaching consultant Dave Tippett and the Seattle Kraken at 10 p.m. Eastern. And let's see, I think we got another one of these. Assistant coach Mike Yeo and the Ottawa Senators will take on assistant coach Doug Huda and the Sharks in San Jose at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So we've got 15 games, 2 national. How many of these games would you say? I mean, we gave the Tuesday slate, the Monday slate an A because it had 4 really good games that ended up kind of stinking, quite frankly. It was
I disagree. The Monday slate was awesome. A lot of weird hockey.
No, but I'm saying the good games that we thought, because we thought the
yeah.
Avs Lightning would be good. That was a trash game. We thought the Stars and the Hurricanes would be good. That was good. We thought the Caps Panthers would be good. That was bad. And then the Jets and the Wild were just fine. It was close for most of it, at least.
But the first one that you said, the Avs Lightning, was bad on the scoreline, but interesting.
Gave
from
us material.
Yes,
Good for the
interesting
show.
from a viewing and entertainment standpoint.
Okay, throw that back up there, Sean, if you would. I'm saying good games on here. Wild and Sabres, definitely want to see that. Next, Rangers and Hurricanes. I'll be honest, I think you got to keep the Rangers on becoming the Joker watch. So you keep an eye on that game. Flames and Red Wings. I mean, that's just an Anthony Mantha Bowl. You got to watch that.
Can I chime in with my thoughts here?
Leafs and Panthers might be the most exciting early game for me, but
Wild Sabres is for me.
Too many games. Too many games.
Oh, of course, but that's a Wednesday. It's the Thanksgiving thing.
Too many games, and if you're going to do it, you may as well force them all to play, and then you can do a Frozen Frenzy thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was just like, why not just have all 16 play? Especially like the Oilers haven't played in 3 months. Like, why are they not playing on this day? And it's also not a holiday for them.
And the Tuesday slate is, you do 2 games? What are you doing?
Yeah.
For the Wednesday games, like before Thanksgiving, why don't they just put all the Canadian teams in there? Since
also true.
Canadian.
There's nothing.
Oh no, I agree with all of the teams, not just Canadian. Get everyone in there. I don't think the NHL pushes U.S. Thanksgiving that hard, but it's just a big part of hockey culture. So lean into it. Do like a midnight madness. At midnight, we find out who's making the playoffs.
That's a good point. I like
that would be very fun.
All right, so I'll give that. That's still an A- because I'm not happy with the ramifications it has for the rest of the schedule. I also would take like one Thanksgiving Day game.
no.
Yeah, actually, let's leave that to football.
Yeah,
and I would say too that the Black Friday, it should be one game.
Yeah,
it should be one game. That used to be a special thing, and they've watered it down.
I would rather Black Friday be like an opening day thing, like 3 games throughout the day.
All right, I can
one at a
accept that
time.
too.
I don't like the moving and shaking and the changes. Let's just load up Wednesday night and make Friday an event.
I would be fine with the way it is right now if the Oilers and Utah Hockey Club, outside of that not being that good of a game, being the one game. Like if you're not playing today, you should have to play on your.
And you just have to have the Oilers play before Thanksgiving. Just given what happened last year, that was the Carolina game where they got absolutely worked. I think they could have maybe snuck into playoff position, and they got smoked, played the worst game, and it was there that Draisaitl and McDavid did the little fist bump. It's going to be okay thing. So, did you learn nothing from last season?
And worth pointing out, this stretch, I believe, will be the longest all season in which we do not do a show.
I know. I was just about to say talk to you very soon because I don't want to say talk to you next week.
I will say, looking a little ahead, Christmas is on a Wednesday this year.
Mm.
We're going to have a weird schedule around that. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is for that.
We have Jewish listeners.
That's true.
I would say that we could
Hockey's
tape
for everyone.
something. We'll
well,
figure it
that's
out.
not, I was saying more like the Thursday, Friday. I don't know. I just throwing it out there.
And also, we're probably going to have an episode in like 3 days because another team is going to fire their coach. That ball's gotten rolling.
Yep.
We're firing coaches now.
Floodgates are open.
'Tis the season. We'll talk to you very soon. Enjoy your U.S. Thanksgiving. You know where to find us. In the meantime, I'm sure that we'll post something updating you on which teams have made the playoffs. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.